All right, so hi, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about vaginas all day. So if you have a vagina, keep on watching. If you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Adriana and I am a community pharmacist. I am a PharmD, doctor of pharmacy. So I started this channel to help you make informed decisions whenever starting over-the-counter therapy or choosing products, specifically when it comes to feminine and intimate care products. So I recently made a video talking about my on-the-go feminine hygiene routine and how I stay fresh. And I wanted to make another video today about my period hygiene routine, specifically the hygiene aspects. Not so much how I comfort myself during my cycle. So hopefully this information will help those of you watching when choosing what's right for your routine. So I'm really excited to share my personal period hygiene routine with you because I've recently added something to my routine and I think it would really help a lot of you out there, and I just am loving the results. As a pharmacist, I get lots of questions from women about over-the-counter options for feminine care, vaginal health, things that promote vaginal health, etc. And I really love connecting with my pharmacy patients because I feel like I can help them on their path to better health, as well as connect to them on a personal level. So a lot of women feel more comfortable coming to me as a woman and being a pharmacist with their feminine questions. So it's a topic that I'm really passionate about, and that's the reason why I also enjoy making these videos. So with that being said, I'm excited because today I'm actually partnering with NutraBlast. Now, NutraBlast is sponsoring this video today, and I'm really excited to work with them because in my previous videos, if you've watched my content, I've always recommended their products. I've used their products. I know that their company follows safety standards and quality for consumers. So I'm actually really excited to tell you about their products. So if you've watched my previous content, you know that I'm always talking about testing your vaginal pH. Now, it's really important to test your vaginal pH because this can kind of guide us onto what's going on if there's a problem, and just to know if your V is healthy. So a major question that I always get is, what's a normal vaginal pH? Now, I posted a video on TikTok and it literally is probably up to 3 million views. And I was talking about vaginal pH. I honestly could not believe that there were so many women interested in this topic. So a lot of women asked, you know, what's normal? What do I use after? What's the product that you suggest? So a normal vaginal pH is between 3 and about 4.5. When you start getting into the 5s and the 6, your pH is off balance. The V likes to be in an acidic environment. She likes to be acidic. So when you're thinking of pH, we have acid base, right? So the more basic it is, this is how we know that our vagina is off balance. Now this can be due to having bad bacteria inside there, having not enough of our good bacteria, hormonal fluctuations, things like that. And our period actually is one of the triggers for this. Sometime before my cycle, I'll go ahead and I'll test my pH just routinely, spot check. And then the day after my period ends, I check it again. Now, I've been using the feminine pH strips by NutraBlast. They're actually really, really easy to use. So this product is really easy to use. You will take a piece of the strip off and you'll rip it off. And you will get a Q-tip and you kind of put that to one of the walls, any side of your V, and you'll hold it against the little pH strip here. Now, once it starts to change color, or it might not even change color, you'll compare it to this spectrum here, and that will tell you where you are. So the color of this strip is kind of similar to the 3. So this is pretty much acidic. And if it starts getting green all the way to the end of the green, that's when you have a basic pH, and then there's a problem. And also, you don't have to use like a big piece of this. You can use a small piece. So this roll actually might last you a long time. So it's really worth it, guys. I would recommend testing your pH sometime before your period and after. Now, watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to tell you guys about what to do if the pH is off. So typically I don't have a problem with my vaginal pH. I'm always like right in the middle, right on the 4. Now, I attribute this to how strict I am in my period hygiene routine. My period hygiene routine is pretty much like, now I have a ritual every time I have my period, and I stick to this, and I've never had a problem, never had abnormal pH. I actually am so excited to make this video because I recently added something to my routine, and I feel like it's going to help a lot of you out there. So I have been using boric acid. Now, I was using another brand, but last month I did tell NutraBlast that I wanted to actually really try their product before I could really have a personal review that I could share. Yes, so I recently added boric acid to my routine, and let me tell you, ladies, if you're having problems with any vaginal problems, itchiness, odor, irritation, boric acid, it's safe, it's effective, and it's definitely worth trying, especially if you're not getting the answers from your gynecologist that you need. And you can use boric acid before your period, during your period, and after your period. So watch the video all the way to the end if you want to see how I incorporate them into my routine. So without further ado, let's get right into it and talk about my flawless feminine period hygiene routine. So first, before I start talking about it, I just want to stress the importance of creating a routine for yourself, a ritual that you do every single month when you get your period. Having your period is so special. It's a time of reflection. It's a time to celebrate your womanhood. I personally feel spiritually empowered when I get my period. And I just take this time to have peace. I take this time to reflect on the new month to come. So I definitely encourage you to do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna break it down based on my bathroom routine, my shower routine, and what I do after my period is over. So the first thing I do in my ritual is I always make sure that my bathroom space, wherever I'm gonna keep my products, wherever I'm gonna do my routine, I make sure that my bathroom is nice and clean. The last thing you want is to be handling your business in a dirty bathroom, right? So make sure your bathroom's clean. Make sure your period products are accessible. Pretty much everything that I'm going to use during my feminine care routine, I have it accessible and I have it in my space. So first, we're gonna talk about my bathroom routine. So I'm actually gonna take you with me to the bathroom so you can take a look at, how I keep my products, and you can actually see what products I'm using. So let's go. All right, guys, let's go into the bathroom. Now, this is where my toilet is. Like I said, you wanna keep your bathroom nice and clean, guys, because the last thing you want is a dirty bathroom. All right, so I always start my feminine hygiene routine by lighting a candle. Now, I just want everything to smell good. I want it to be fresh. I want to feel fresh. I want to feel feminine. So that's why I do that. So I recommend just having something set up in your space, incense or a candle. So, let's go. So here is where I keep my feminine hygiene products. I have my peri-rinse bottle, which we're gonna talk about in a second. I have my feminine wipes, have my boric acid capsules right there. And then here is where I have my other products. So I have these thong pads there, which I rarely use. I have my menstrual cup, I have pads, I have tampons. So it's really whatever I am feeling like using that day. So on the first day of my period, I typically like just to use your good old pad. because you don't know what the flow is gonna be, or for me, I don't know what the flow is gonna be, so I just like to use a good old pad on the first day. And usually day 2 or 3, I'll use a tampon. And there's some days I'll like to use the menstrual cup. All right, so those are my products. So the holy grail of my feminine hygiene routine is my Peri-Cleanse bottle. Yes, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this or have used it after giving birth, or you know, you have a friend or a sister or a mother who uses this. I actually was introduced to this after I had my daughter, and that was when I was 16, about 18 years ago. So I was introduced to this, and when I tell you, I absolutely love this. All you do is add water and you can clean yourself with it. So that is the first part of my routine. So the first part of my routine is I get my cleansing bottle and I'll fill it up with warm water. And fill it all the way to the top. I will bring it into the bathroom. I usually will just put it right there. And in addition to that, I will get out my product that I'm going to use. So probably going to use a pad if it's the first day. I'll put my pad right there. Then I like to get one of my favorite little feminine care wipes. This one is by Summer's Eve. So I'll put that there as well. Okay, so once you have all your products together, I go ahead and I start my business. So the first thing I do is I take my Peri-Rinse bottle. Now this bottle is not to go in your vaginal canal. This is to wash the vulva, the outer portion, okay? So, you know, it squirts like that. Hopefully you can see it, but it squirts like that. Actually, it's very relieving, and I pretty much squirt it on the outside until all of it's gone, okay? And once I'm done with that, I will just pat dry with some basic toilet paper, and then I like to go in with my feminine care wipe. So that. And these are not flushable, so you'll put them in the trash can, okay? And then I will go ahead and put whatever product I want to use on after that. All right, now that was fun. So now let's talk about my period routine when I'm taking a shower. So when you're on your period, you want to make sure you take at least a minimum of 1 shower per day. Now, typically, I only will take 1 shower. I'll take a second one if I've gone to the gym, or if I just kind of feel, you know, that icky feeling, I'll take a second shower. But typically, you only will need 1 shower. Just make sure you're taking 1 shower a day. I do not recommend taking a bath when you're on your period. So, like I said before, you want to create a ritual for yourself. I like to light a candle, play some music. I sometimes will play some ASMR in the background just to feel nice and relaxed during this time. Because again, this is a time for reflection. It's a time for peace. You also want to make sure your shower is nice and clean. You don't need to be bathing in a dirty shower. So once I go into the shower, I turn the shower on, and I pretty much rinse myself over and over and over really good. I rinse and rinse and rinse. Now we know that we shouldn't put anything inside our vagina, so nothing inside the vaginal canal. We're supposed to clean the outer area. Now we call this the vulva. Do not douche, don't put anything in there. I just typically wash my, the outside, which is called the vulva. So you just want to wash water, water, water. Your body cleans itself, and that's why we have our period, because our body is cleansing itself. So I clean the outside with lots and lots of water. So now when it comes to the cleansing part, I like to alternate. So I'll usually some days use a feminine wash that's pH balanced. And yes, I know this is controversial, but I will talk about that in another video. Or I'll use a bar soap. I usually will use Dove Sensitive Skin. So I will alternate between these products during my cycle to wash the outside vulva area. After I'm done washing, of course, I will get out the shower, I dry, and I use my product of choice, my pad, my tampon, or my menstrual cup. All right, and that is it for my shower period routine. All right, so recently I actually added something else to my period hygiene routine. After my period ends, I will use boric acid capsules for 2 to 3 days afterwards. And this is just to maintain my vaginal pH, to maintain just good vaginal health. So it's actually very easy to use. Now you don't need a applicator to insert it, but it is definitely useful. So I just want to stress that boric acid or Boric Life, they should not be swallowed. They look just like your typical capsule that you'll swallow, but you do not swallow it. It actually is very poisonous if you swallow it, okay? And if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you also should not use boric acid capsules. All right, so another thing to add is when you're using boric acid, you want to make sure you use a panty liner because it is really gritty and it can cause a lot of wetness. So you're going to notice that. So you don't want to damage your underwear. So I recommend doing this right at bedtime, right? So you take your applicator and you put that capsule right there, right? So this kind of works just as a plunger. That's going to push that capsule up to where it needs to go, okay? Ooh, you see? Oops. Sorry about that. So do this at bedtime. Make sure you've gone to the bathroom, you did everything you have to do because you don't want to get up after you insert it because you want it to start working. So I'll do this for about 2 to 3 days after my cycle just for maintenance. And like I said in the beginning of the video, before I do this, I will check my vaginal pH using the pH test strips to see what my pH is. Now, if my pH was to come back abnormal, then I will go ahead and do a treatment with the boric acid capsules. Now, if you're treating yourself with the capsules, you want to do one at bedtime for 7 days. Now, if it's a severe case, you can do one every 12 hours. Now, you want to make sure it's 600 milligrams of boric acid. NutraBlast Boric Life is 600 milligrams. So since I've been adding this to my routine, I feel like my pH has been directly on that pH 4. So I actually give them a thumbs up. NutraBlast is so confident in their Boric Life capsules that they offer a 100% money back guarantee. And if you click the link below, you will get a 20% off on it. So the final thing I do about 1 week after my period is I do a vaginal steam. Now, vaginal steams are also very controversial. So I've been doing vaginal steams for about 2 to 3 years, and I know it's a controversial topic, but I haven't had a problem with it. It's a part of my feminine ritual, which, like I said, I'm very big on rituals, and I think that's really important. And I'm also really big on holistic feminine care therapies. So if you want me to make a video on vaginal steaming, go ahead and just drop a pink heart emoji in the comments and I'll make sure I make that for you. All right, guys, we went over a lot today, and I thank you so much for watching this video and for spending some of your time with me. If you have any questions, you know, you can ask me below. The best way to reach me is DMing me on Instagram at Adriana Charday. So go ahead and do that if you have any questions, or you can comment here below. So let me know if you liked this video. Go ahead and share, like, what are some of the things that you do in your routine? What products have worked for you? I'm always looking for things to add into my routine. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Have a great day.